Hi, Mr. O. Pretty good. How about you? Sounds good. Well, she probably didn't even realize it because they only ever hung out on vacation. And now you're coming over, and he never told her, I don't have money for my own place. So, of course, they're living with his parents. And it just seems like maybe they should have had more conversations about it. And maybe also she should be funding some of these things. If she wants to do a different lifestyle than what she was before, she should take some control and not put everything on somebody else. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, especially with like the whole living with the parents thing. I mean, I kind of feel like you do have to go by the parents' rules. It's their house, but if she's not okay with that, then they need to figure out a way to kind of change their situation. Yeah. Well, and it's almost like he thinks if he just lets her vent and get it out, then the problem's going to solve itself. And it's not. She's not happy. She's not going to be happy. His mom's not happy. She's not going to be happy. So at one point or another, he needs to do something. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's literally all you're seeing in Washington, D.C. So, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, she's young. She's in America for the first time. She doesn't want to be sightseeing with her fiance's parents. Like, no offense to her parents, but I mean, like she literally just got there. She wants to spend time with him, not his family. So I get that. It is a pretty cool sight. I mean, hmm. Well, and like the picture thing, I think is a big part of it too, because when you travel, especially in this day and age, like that's a big part of it is taking pictures with things that other people can relate to. Like, oh, I've been there, I've seen that, or wow, that's so cool. Like that's like literally what people in their 20s do. I feel like, yeah, yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I don't think Betty's gonna let that fly. Yeah. Where she has to live with his parents. I thought so too. Yeah, I am glad he finally kind of stood up to his mom though and was like, "We're gonna go do our own thing." So I feel like that was necessary. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. They could go back and do more and they could split up and do different things if they want to. Do you want to go to Tariq and Hazel? All right. So Tariq is on his way to meet Angela so she can help him pick out the optimal outfit to meet Hazel at the airport. He says her favorite color is powder blue, so he's going to pretend to go to a prom in 1978 and get a powder blue suit. Angela confirms that the suit is 70s corny, but Tariq is sold on his idea. Angela worries that Hazel is young and might not have the best intentions, and then she brings up inviting Dean to the wedding. Tariq reminds us about some things that Dean did in the other season. He gave both Tariq and Hazel a lot of shit, saying some pretty offensive stuff to both of them. Then afterward, he did the same thing. He met a woman in the Philippines and moved there to marry her. They show us the phone call from an old season where Tariq yells at Dean that Dean owes him respect, fool. At this point, Tariq says, at this point, Tariq says there's no recovery for his and Dean's relationship, and Dean won't be at the wedding. He settles on the most obnoxiously blue jacket. It was really bad, with a blue checkered shirt and pink bow tie. After Tariq is in his power blue suit, he tells us his concerns with Hazel trying to get along with Ari, his autistic daughter, because it's really difficult to live with someone who has autism. Next up, Tarik is driving to Norfolk to get, see, did I say it right? Norfolk to get Hazel at the airport. He did not say it right. Which she'll get to after 28 hours of traveling. He reiterates the situation regarding Minty again, but says he's not going to tell her that, that he reached out to Minty on day one, which I think is a good idea. This is the longest they've ever been apart, and now his stomach is in pretzels. Just like everyone else, he waits at the bottom of the escalator and he cries when he sees her. Hazel seems to really like the silly suit, and she says she's overwhelmed, which Tarik likes for some reason. She also says she's sad because she misses her son, who apparently thinks she's coming back. She says the plan is to get her son to the States someday, but it's not clear how likely that will be. As they drive home, Hazel says that being in the US with Tarik is the happiest moment, and Tarik says that Hazel is the turning point in his life. As they are driving home, Hazel says this is her first trip out of the Philippines, and she's impressed by the big city and clean houses. He is expecting for her to be impressed by his house, but she is confused by the dishwasher and does not want to use it. She's not impressed with the cleanliness of his house either, and Tarik insists that his dirty house is clean. Hazel wonders if he just waited until she got here to clean, like he wants her to clean. Then he makes weird faces at her, and they go upstairs to the bedroom. So I kind of think it's funny that people get really dressed up to go to the airport to pick somebody up. I don't know. Do you think that's like a weird thing to do? That would be me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't know. I think it's kind of funny to get all dressed up to go somewhere where you're gonna pick them up, hug, and then get into a car. And it's like unless you have like plans to go somewhere right away, it just seems like a waste. Like you're gonna get it all wrinkled. And also he went through a lot of trouble to get this suit, like right before she was coming in. Yeah. Yeah, it seems so silly to me. Like, and also the powder blue. I mean, that was just she did like it though. She did like it. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, and I feel like a suit is like, I mean, to get all dressed up, I like getting dressed up, but it's not necessarily the most comfortable of clothing. So to get all dressed up to go sit in a car just like doesn't sound like my idea of fun. I just don't get it. Standing up. It did seem like it was the day of, right? I mean, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's like a really tough situation. I mean, she doesn't have like majority custody, but you know, that's one thing from being in a completely different country. When he's little, right? I mean, that's got to be so tough. I don't even know like how I mean, I don't have kids, but like I just can't imagine moving away from a child. That's got to be so difficult. And like in her mind, she probably sees it as like she's doing something eventually getting him over to America. She's going to give him a better opportunity, but it's just got to be that's got to be so difficult. Oh my gosh. It really is. I mean, it's just yeah. I don't know. And then for Dean to go and do the same thing, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, you're going to sit here and judge your brother, and then you're going to literally do the same thing. Yeah. Well, I'm curious if he's going to actually not be at the wedding. I mean, I was going to bring that up too. I mean, it wasn't the worst I've seen, but like, I just, that's not how you want to bring somebody into your house for the first time. There was just like unpacked boxes everywhere, and there was like plates out, and I mean, I like I've said, I've seen worse, but I don't know. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed, you know? Yeah. Well, and then poor Hazel was like, "Did you just want me here to clean?" I mean, I hope she was kidding. Like, I hope that she didn't really feel that way, but so fun fact, dishwashers these days, I would know this. So dishwashers these days are made to be really efficient, and when you wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your dishes by hand, you actually use more water than running the dishwasher. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm curious to see what the interaction is going to be between Hazel and Ari once they introduce them. Yeah. I just like want him to rip the band-aid off and tell her. Well, and it's like at the end of the day, yeah, you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not that bad. Like he reached out to make sure she was okay during coronavirus. Like, all right, maybe he shouldn't have done it, but it's not that bad. But him not telling her, that's that makes it worse. Yeah. Yeah, I'm giving you a reason to exactly. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Well, I actually, when Andrew first had on the like get up, I was like, what is going on with this guy? But after he started talking, I was like, oh, he actually seems kind of normal, which was a little surprising. Um, and she does too. I mean, it's kind of like a strange situation. I think it just really, as far as their relationship goes, again, it comes down to communication. It sounds like they're not on the same page. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it seemed weird because I didn't feel like that when he was talking. But then when Amira was talking to her dad, I totally got a controlling vibe. And I was like, they didn't show any of that. So is that really just like her perspective on what happened? Or was he really saying those things? I don't know. Yeah. Well, and even the Mexico thing, like it, yeah. I mean, I get the idea that the visa is going to expire and if they don't use it, I get that. But I mean, with everything going on, it just seems like not necessarily a solid plan. And she kind of seems like she got roped into it. Yes. Yeah. Right? I'm kind of curious to know if, because like that seems a little unfair if that's the case. Yeah. And what happens if the visa expires? Can they like requalify? I mean, I guess they have to like re-go through the whole system. Okay. Yeah, her father was really cool. Yeah, he's like, I don't want to see you cry. Yeah. Well, and I mean, if what she's saying is true and he's being extremely controlling, he has every right not to like him. Like, my daughter is going to move to another country where she has no family and I can't even be there to help her. Like, she actually said that he gave her an ultimatum. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's why. Maybe he's just too controlling. Oh, yeah. It's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. It yeah, I mean it was definitely strange. I mean, I also kind of found it weird just the whole that she was so upset that he wasn't going to be at the baby shower, but that's just because like traditionally, at least in my family, men don't go to the baby shower. So for her to be like so upset about that, like yeah. And I don't know if she was just like using that as her excuse to be like you shouldn't do this or oh yeah. I feel like people usually don't change their minds on that. Like people get into relationships and they say this is what I want and then the other person thinks that they're going to change their mind. And then like 5 years down the line you have major problems. Like that yeah, I don't I don't get that. Will eventually want them. Yeah. Yep. No. I don't think so. Okay. So do you want me to go to Mike and Natalie? Okay, so they are enjoying the view from their baller hotel room one last time before she gets the rude awakening of going to, how do you say it? Squim? Squim. Natalie tells us that last night was good because their sexual relationship only has ups and no downs. Before they go, they talk about their upcoming meeting with his family, aka Uncle Bo. She tells us in an interview that she did not whoops, that she did not like Mike bringing. Oh, where did I go? Sorry. So they talk about their meeting with Uncle Bo, and then she says in an interview that she didn't like that Mike didn't bring the ring for her. Um, he and Natalie have an awkward handshake with Uncle Bo, and Natalie tells us how much she likes his style. Oh yeah, he was wearing like a American flag shirt, which was correct because the other one was incorrect. Which, anyway, sidebar. Bo starts off the meal drinking whiskey with a straw, which Natalie seems suspicious of. They talk a little about drinking habits before she bluntly asks where he lives now. She rudely says that she's relieved he's gone, but quickly falls apart. Things quickly fall apart because Natalie can't understand his accent. But Mike does a bit of the translating as Natalie tells us about them and how scared she is to live out in the country where there's no one around for miles. When the waiter brings the food, she gives too much information and makes it awkward by mentioning that she doesn't have the ring back. Before they leave, Bo gives them his blessing, even though no one asked for it. Soon they are on the road back to Squim, which has many people in it as her, which has as many people in it as her building back in Kiev. Kiev? Kiev. As they get closer, Natalie says the road is starting to remind her of a horror movie since it's so dark and small. Mike says he hopes Natalie grows to appreciate rural living because they aren't moving. At the end, Mike has to slip slide and four wheel through some heavy snow. She is very, very creeped out by the house just being surrounded by trees, and then the grand tour begins. She has a heavy sigh as she walks around, and she can't find words to describe how she's feeling. She's also very skittish about Boo Boo the cat, aka Mike's longest relationship. She tells the producers that the house is smaller and colder than she was expecting. She asks Mike why it's so cold in the house, but he doesn't think it's cold at all. She asks for tea and more time to take it all in before she responds, but she just doesn't seem comfortable. The house isn't clean, and she's starting to regret traveling 10,000 miles just for this. So at this point, they've basically both committed to trying to make things work. I mean, she flew all the way over. He, even though it seems like he wasn't that excited, he kind of is like, all right, let's try for this. So at that point, do you think he should make the gesture and give her the ring back? Yeah. Engaged. Yeah. Which it does kind of seem like everybody's doing that. Well, it seems like he's under the impression that she took back the engagement because she gave him the ring back. But then I don't know if there's like some cultural thing, like maybe that I mean, I I kind of feel like she was just angry and she gave it back out of anger more than like I'm done with this. Okay. Oh my gosh. And he's just like trying to see how things go before he like re-proposes, I guess. That was just so awkward. Like, welcome home, go wherever you want. Like, she doesn't know where she is. Here, this closet's going to be yours. I didn't empty anything out yet. Like, it was. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, and that's definitely terrifying because I feel like when you're in a house and it's super dark outside, everybody can just see inside, but you can't see outside. And that's like really scary. There's nobody around. I mean, that would freak me out for sure. I would probably demand that there be curtains. So, yeah. 30 minutes in the middle of nowhere with no streetlights. Hmm. Oh, for sure. Well, and even when she said she was cold, I feel like his reaction was just like, it's not cold. All right, well, why don't you like offer to get her a blanket? Like, yeah, it's like his lazy zone or something. Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, it was hard to tell when they were walking through it. It just seemed like it was like a really long hallway. I mean, I didn't really, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Something. I know it was so plain. And then it was kind of funny too how afraid of the cat she was. And like as far as cats go, I mean I love cats, but as far as cats go, that cat seems like a very friendly, like cute cat. It did not seem like it wanted to attack or just like run away and hide. And so it's just really funny that she was so afraid of it. Oh, okay. I could see that. Probably like how we see rats here. Gross. I don't think so. I think he's pretty much always drunk. Yeah. Yeah, he's always got a drink in his hand. I feel like, I mean, I wonder if they just like make him out to be like that, but it definitely seems like he's a partier. Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's tough because I feel for Yara. Like it's got to be really rough not having your family there. But it's kind of unfair for Gwen to not be able to be there. I mean, it's her son too getting married, and I'm sure she wants to be there and, be happy for them. I don't think they need to have like a huge wedding, but if his parents go, I don't think that would be the end of the world. And then maybe Yara can like FaceTime her parents or something during it. It just Ooh, I could see that. Yeah, maybe but I do think she warmed up to Gwen a little bit. I mean, she was at least really nice to Gwen. I mean, I think she did too. I mean, because that was like a big expectation as well to be like, hey, welcome to America. Night one, I'm trying to get you to party. Now, night two, you're coming to sleep at my mom's house. That's that's a lot. I mean, this poor girl hasn't even gotten over her jet lag yet, and she's got to go not only meet your mother, but have a dinner with your mom that she didn't really like, and now be forced to sleep there too. That's yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, in Gwen's defense, I feel like if I was in this situation, my mom would be devastated. She would be like, no way, no way are you getting married without me and your dad being there. Fair enough. She might just be assuming too that this won't be the only wedding in his life. So, yeah. but she's very clear. Yeah, she's very clear and she doesn't I feel like I don't know if it's like a American thing, but a lot of us are we're not clear and we kind of like beat around the bush and we're trying to like you get what I'm saying, right? Like you get it. And she's just like, "No, like this is how I feel." Right. Yep. And in that same sense, if she said no once, she doesn't want to be asked 12 times. Hmm. Yeah. So I actually picked Uncle Bo because they kicked him out of the house. They were kind of, I don't know, I feel like his situation's kind of shitty, but then he still showed up at dinner. He was so nice. Natalie was like so blunt and like, "You're not living with us, right? Okay, cool." And he still was like, "I'm gonna give you guys my blessing. I'm gonna give you a hug." Like, he was so chill. Well, that's fair. Ah, that was so ridiculous. Okay. I liked how she was like, "Do I say this to you?" Yeah. Yeah. I actually picked Andrew because I thought he was putting a lot of pressure on Amira. I didn't think that, I mean, with everything going on, she seems really uncomfortable about even traveling, and it seems like he just, was giving her the ultimatum, and I didn't like that. Yeah. 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 Like literally put her life at risk. I mean, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yep. So for the life lesson, I said, you need to clean your house before you have your future partner come stay with you for the first time. Like make them a little bit more presentable. Both Mike and Tarik's houses needed some work. Yes. Yeah. It's like you're literally trying to impress somebody. This is the first time they're, I mean, like they've seen you in their element or in different elements, but they're seeing you for the first time in your own element. You should put in some effort. Awesome. Thanks. Thanks for having me.